I'm Martin Olszynski. I'm an associate professor here at the University of Calgary Faculty of Law. I guess my research focuses on Canadian environmental law and natural resources law, and probably slightly bigger focus on federal laws as opposed to provincial regimes. And why I think it's important, I guess, is we're still not getting this right. Environmental law has existed in its sort of most modern form for about 50 years, sort of came up in the 70s in the United States and sort of spread around the world. And we have certain basic tools like environmental assessment and other kinds of regulatory regimes. But the science keeps telling us that we still have, extraordinary rates of species extinction. We still have environmental degradation. We still have a lot of pollution, a lot of waste. We have climate change. So it's clear that whatever processes we have in place are not cutting it. And so I think we need to keep thinking about those things. Two of my courses are must-takes because they are literally must-takes. You have to take tort law with me and you have to take administrative law with someone. But I will say, so the course that I get to sort of really explore my own interests and research areas is water law. And the reason that students should take water law is, as I tell my students early on, and as we sort of, the theme that kind of carries throughout the course is that water law is really the law of everything. And that's in a lot of ways, you can tell the history of Canada through water law. And then you can also, when you think about almost anything that we do in a modern and developed society, land use, agriculture, forestry, mining, energy, all of those things impact and are impacted by water. And we can see that being reflected in water laws right across the country in the different ways that we use water. So it's a really neat lens to apply to almost all of the things that we deal with in a modern society. And I came to law school knowing at the time anyways, that I wanted to do environmental law, something with environmental law. But in first year, I didn't get much chance. And so it was criminal law and family law. And I found actually all of these areas really fascinating, actually. And so actually, by the time I was coming into second year, I wasn't sure anymore that I wanted to just do environmental law. It seemed like maybe I would put up a shingle up north in northern Saskatchewan and do something like that. But really, basically, within the first 5 minutes of being in my environmental law course, I knew that this was the thing that I wanted to practice and eventually work in as an academic. So I think every law student should at some point experience oral advocacy, getting up in front of somebody and arguing on behalf of somebody else. And why I think that's the case is that at the end of the day, being a lawyer is very much about advocacy. And it turns out, not all of us are going to be litigators, of course, but it is one of those sort of, I think, core aspects of the profession that even if you're shy or not inclined to do that, that you owe it yourself to at least try, because you might be surprised that, in fact, you enjoy it a lot and that it's really rewarding.